Billions of login credentials have been leaked online. Shocker, I know. Yes. It's impossible to tell how many people or accounts were actually exposed. So probably yours, probably mine. Here's what it says. Researchers at cybersecurity outlet Cyber News say that billions of login credentials have been leaked and compiled into datasets online, giving criminals unprecedented access to accounts that consumers use each day. According to a report published this week, Cyber News researchers have recently discovered 30 exposed data sets that each contain a vast amount of login information, amounting to a total of 16 billion compromised credentials. That includes usernames and user passwords for a range of popular platforms like Google, Facebook, and Apple. You guys use those companies' platforms? 16, well, if you're listening on YouTube, you do. Yes, that's a yes. 16 billion is roughly double the amount of people on Earth today, signaling that impacted consumers may have had credentials for more than one account leaked. Yes, by my math, that would be at least two accounts for everyone. Cyber News notes that there are most certainly duplicates in the data, so it's impossible to tell how many people or accounts were actually exposed. So, the data has been leaked yet again. Oops. Many questions remain about these leaked credentials, including whose hands that the login credentials are now in. But as data breaches become more and more common in today's world, yes, on purpose if you ask me, experts continue to stress the importance of maintaining key cyber hygiene. Do you have good cyber hygiene? If you're worried about your account data potentially being exposed in a recent breach, the first thing you can do is, repeat after me, change your password. Change your password. And avoid using the same or similar login credentials on multiple sites. I know lots and lots of people who do that. If you find it too hard to memorize all your different passwords, consider a password manager or a pass key. And also add multi-factor authentication, which can serve as a second layer of verification through your phone, email, or USB authenticator key. So this is part of my ongoing dilemma every single day because, as many of you guys know, I handle websites and multiple platforms for multiple people. So I have tons and tons and tons of logins that I'm always dealing with. I probably spend literally half of my life verifying who I am. I think I do at this point. The other half of my life, I'm getting ready for the first half. So, yeah, I probably do. I spend a lot of time just verifying who I am just to be able to log in. So, yes, you definitely want to have a password manager. That is the best way to, I think, handle everything. If you have a lot of logins like I do, I personally recommend, and they're not paying me to promote, but there's a really good, pretty cheap password manager program called RoboForm, and I use that myself. RoboForm is really good, so I would recommend RoboForm. You can look them up. That's the .com, roboform.com, I think. I want to say it's around $30 a year, something like that, but if you have tons of passwords, it's a really good way to effectively manage your passwords, and then you can, if you have a good password manager, you can have these really long passwords with multiple, capital letters and numbers and weird symbols and stuff like that in it and not have to worry about writing it down somewhere or trying to remember any of that stuff. I know I can't, So it's a really good way to do that. And then on top of that, it also has a password generator built into it. So if you don't want to come up with all of the random letters and numbers and stuff for a password, it will generate one for you. It will tell you if it's a strong password or a really strong password or a weak password or whatever, and then you can then apply it, go into your Google account, your Gmail account, go into your Apple account or whatever, and go in and change your password to some other longer string. And then, of course, yes, you can activate what they call multi-factor authentication, which is where you have to, you get the PIN that is text to your phone or something like that as well. So that is, to me, the best answer And Susan's kind of nailed it here. Another push for real ID, no doubt. That's exactly right. That's where they're wanting to go with this. That is why you're seeing so many data breaches and leaks from banks to the Social Security Administration to whatever. That's why you're seeing all these data breaches. They are being leaked on purpose to get us to real ID, to get us to biometrics, to get us to take injectables so that it's all tied back to our global ID that we have, real ID, or whatever they're going to call it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of become my life in a way. I have to deal with a lot of passwords and stuff, so I'm just trying to give you guys some good advice. Get a password manager. Get something that generates a good, solid, strong password. Don't use the same password in multiple websites. Just generate new ones. Have your program save it, and then you don't have to worry about it. Then when you go back to that website, say you're logged out and you go back to that website to go use the website, you just click the little RoboForm button and it detects what website you're on. You go to the sign in page and it fills it in for you, and you click login and you're in. Boom. Just like that. It's actually really simple. I should be a salesperson for RoboForm, but there's others out there, other passkey management, utilities that you can get. And I would definitely recommend one. So doesn't matter which one you use. I would say go that route versus trying to, write it down on a piece of paper that you might lose or whatever. So it's definitely a good way to go, and just know that it's only going to get worse.